Peace and blessings, family. Welcome you to another edition of Royale X Politikin. Definitely, this is a new year. This is 2026, and we want to start this year off not with New Year's resolutions, but commitments. Things that we built in 2025. Want to continue those structures and building those legacies throughout this year. I don't want us to get into the mindset of saying like every year we have to identify these goals that we never attain. But let's make sure we be intentful about our actions moving forward this year. Make sure you be dedicated on the things that you didn't finish last year. Make sure that you continue to leave a life of impact that this community and this culture and this nation gonna feel umpteen years after you gone. It's a new day. It's a new energy. This is we living in a new time frame. And we are those are the ones that live today. So we'll be telling our stories and we are the narrators. So when we gone, when we die, when we pass on, trust and believe, people gonna be reading about the things that you contributed to, stuff that you was a part of, things that happened because of the efforts. So we want to make sure that you understand that that's serious for us, right? And we got to make it about that. So in this year, make sure you be your best self. Make sure you follow through on everything that you seek to accomplish. And if you don't be hurt about it. Don't feel a certain type of way about it, but just continue to keep striving forward for the best. Because why? You are your best self, and we expect nothing less. Welcome you all to Royale X Politikin. I'm sitting here with another prolific brother here in our community that's doing some phenomenal things, right? So we talking in 2026, man. Listen, we trying to do some things that we never done before. And we correcting the wrongs of the past. And so that means that everybody play a part. Everybody has purpose. Everybody got to go ahead and move with dignity and be reverence, right? Move with intent. Seek greatness. And that's what we doing, right? So I'm sitting here with my brother, Mr. Deniro Johnson. How you doing, brother?
Good, man.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man.
All right.
And that's another thing, man. This is another brother, man, that's out here trying to go ahead and change the ways of the past while changing the trajectory of the future. So definitely, man, welcome to the show, brother.
All right, man. How you doing?
Man, I'm doing well, man. I can't complain. I can't complain, man. You know, it's another day in paradise, another day, the opportunity to do something that I ain't done before.
For sure.
But then also, man, try to make some make sense.
For sure.
You know.
For sure.
So, man, with that being said, definitely, man, for our listeners, our audience, etc. Won't you introduce yourself, man? Tell them something that they don't know about you.
All right. Well, my name is Deniro Johnson. I'm a local promoter, event coordinator, and that's entrepreneur.
Come on now, straight like that.
Entrepreneur, for sure. Straight like that, man.
So, if you ever been in a party or engagement,
Mm-hmm.
or if you ever wore educated evil back in the day, right? You know what I'm saying? The brother has definitely curated a number of different industries and definitely put forth a number of different initiatives. And so definitely, man, you know, that's a beautiful thing, right? When we talk about entrepreneurship, that's the key. That's the nucleus, right? We got to be about creating our own ways. And that's something that you do.
Yeah, for sure.
How'd you get started?
Man, entrepreneurship honestly came from surviving.
Come on. You know me, that's how that go.
Surviving. Growing up, you know, growing up, not having everything that I needed,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? It kind of, you know, you see these things that you want, you see this lifestyle and stuff like that that you want to live, but
Mm-hmm.
was raised a certain type of way.
Come
You
on
know what
now.
I mean? I got adopted when I
Mm-hmm.
was 9. I was with my uncle, and my uncle gonna get up and get it by any means necessary.
All the time.
Make no excuses. He gonna get up.
We
He
ain't gonna
gonna
make
go
no
to
excuse.
work.
Yeah, no.
Nah, but he gonna get up. He gonna go to work. He gonna be on time.
Mm-hmm.
Make no excuses. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And if that ain't working, you try something else.
You
You know.
know, even like how you just said, like, man, you know, our elders and the people that, you know, been putting in this work for a long time,
Yeah.
they always understood the importance of getting up and getting to it, right? They not waiting on nothing to happen, and they definitely got a family to take care of, and they did what was necessary, right? And that remind me of, you know, Just, you know what I'm saying, my uncles and grandfathers and things of that nature, man, taking care of all them children, just to make a living, not only for themselves, but for the people around. And then inspire you to go ahead and be your best self too.
For sure. For sure.
So you started out in foster care.
Not foster care.
Okay.
No. So I didn't start off in foster care. I started
Mhm.
off with just my mom.
Okay.
My mom was in the streets, and my family, my granddad, they figured they put my mom in a different environment.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean, to try to change her situation.
Absolutely.
But,
Absolutely.
my dad was in prison at the time,
Mhm.
so I needed a father figure.
That's right.
You know, and my mom, her brother, which is my uncle, her little brother,
Yep.
he stepped up to the plate.
Come on now.
He knew what was going on. He
Yeah.
had one son, so
Yeah.
he took me in, and we was raised like brothers.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah,
You is brothers.
for sure.
So where is your father now?
My father passed away.
Unfortunately.
Yeah,
Was he in prison or when he got out?
when he got out.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so just kind of like right after or just some time through?
Nah, it was a little bit of time, man, but it's a few years.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a few years, but yeah, he passed away. Man, it's been probably like 6 years.
Mhm.
6 years now.
6 years since he passed.
Yeah.
Okay. Definitely, man, you know, and always understand too, man, when we do lose a loved one, you know, they always still with us in the spirit. So it's not like, you know, I don't know, you know, the relationship or the dynamic when he came home. Did y'all connect? How'd y'all build?
We tried to. We tried to,
Did you
man.
try to?
Yeah, so I had a chip on my shoulder for a long time
Of course.
growing up. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? When he got out, we tried to connect, but one, the court told me I wasn't allowed to listen to my parents at all. You know, so
How's
hearing
that?
that, full custody.
Because your uncle had full custody.
My uncle had full custody.
So you
So the
couldn't,
court system had to tell me that I had to listen to my uncle
because he was your guardian.
because he's my legal guardian.
I get
You
that.
know what I mean? So hearing that at 9 years old, you know what I mean? And then I didn't grow up in a two-parent household.
Yeah.
So I didn't know what that looked like anyway.
That's right.
So when he did come around, he was just trying to build a relationship, man.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a forceful dad type of situation. And he was still trying to figure himself out in the streets as well.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So we never really got to bond like that.
Okay.
But I did respect him as my dad, though.
You got to.
I did respect him.
Listen. Hey man, it come down to like we all make mistakes.
For sure.
You know. My father, you know, we didn't have a relationship when I was young.
Yeah.
And that was because he was a ball player and you know, he was actually a really good ball player. And he ended up getting into, you know, the street life and getting engaged in drugs and so, you know, it kind of left us, to kind of fend for ourselves. And so I think I really like despised him when I was a young boy coming up, man, because your father is supposed to be the one that, help guide the way for you, or at least show you how to be a man. And if you don't have that, then you're missing something out, right? So later on in life, we were able to have some conversations and dialogues, right? To be able to say, like, and he told me straight up, like, man, you know what? I wasn't ready for children. I had my first son when I was 17. My oldest brother, he was, when he was 17, he was actually in college with Big Bro.
Okay.
And so he wasn't ready for it. And then, he had all us, man, afterwards, man. And, it's five of us. So I just feel like I understood where he was coming from because now I'm a grown adult, man, myself with children of my own.
Children. Yeah.
And so I get it to say, like, because I wasn't always, seeing it the way that I see it today. And so we had some real life conversation, man, and I appreciated that.
For sure.
He's still here, so we able to still bond, and we got understanding now. So, we can kind of build a relationship from here.
Yeah.
But it also showed me some things too in life. It showed me as well, showed me how to be a father by looking and seeing about things that I would like to have in a father, right?
Didn't have, for sure.
What I didn't have. And so I get that from my children today. And so I just hope that they understand how important it is that fathers are in their children's life.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? You got children yourself too.
For sure.
How many you got?
I got 3.
So you got 3 children, right? And you raising them as a black man, right?
Yeah.
How is that going for you?
It's going, man. Honestly, I can't complain. I'm actually pretty proud of myself as a father.
Yeah,
Due to the circumstances, you know what I mean? It's just how we were raised and not really having that example so
right.
much.
Joe.
I do my best.
Yeah.
You know, I do my best. I'll
Yeah.
be 100% honest with you. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I got a few that I have different moms, you know what I mean? And that could be a difficult situation. But for me,
Speak on
luckily,
it.
luckily for me, you know, it play out cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
I do, like I said, I do my best with how I was raised, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Being there for my son and for my daughter, for sure, for sure.
come on, man. Listen, man. Listen. It ain't nothing harder than being a father in this community, just in this world right now, because we just have a lot of vices. We got a lot of situations, and I know me and Cuz was talking offline. Like if you don't have a real strong connection or relationship with the mother, right, it makes raising children even harder of a task.
Yeah.
And so, regardless of the circumstances or whatever's going on, you got to learn to get it together.
Got
And
it.
I mean, I be saying that, and I hope my children be understanding the severity of, what they dealing with because I don't want them to be impacted by what me and their mom got going on. When
Right. Right.
we was young, you know, junior year I was 19, so it's like, I really wasn't ready for it myself. I was involved in a lot of activity.
Yeah.
And so, what I mean, I really wasn't thinking about it like that. So that's why I understand what my father was talking about too, when where he was coming from. And so you grow to be a man, you grow to be a father, and that's through life experience.
Yeah.
You know
For
what I'm
sure.
saying?
For sure.
So I'm even thankful for all the hard times, thankful for all the good times, right? I'm thankful for all the times because what you go through, which makes you who you are today.
For sure.
Right. So that's a
For sure.
beautiful thing, man.
For sure.
And that's something that we tend to, when we're talking about today's youth, think about the plight of young people today and what they got to go through and what they dealing with.
Yeah.
We had a lot of opportunities when we was young,
Yeah.
even if we didn't take a part of them.
Yeah.
Right? Like we had community centers that was open to us. Our schools was open. Like we had all these different situations taking place. We can go get involved with this group, be a part of this program, get this support on this level. The children of today don't be having that.
The children today are very limited to
Mhm.
resources.
Absolutely.
Very limited to resources.
Hmm.
Um, man, I know like back in the day, I was just talking to somebody about it not being so good back then,
Yeah,
but we had community.
we had community.
We had community. You know, if you can go outside, you can go to a park, you can see
Hmm.
kids playing,
Yeah,
you can see grandparents outside just doing their
absolutely,
thing.
absolutely.
And that alone just kind of kept life in us.
Hmm.
You know, these days you got kids kind of just in rooms in dark places.
Hmm.
Here, a lot of people probably don't pay attention to. We go through seasons. You know what I mean? So seasons change. It get dark early. It
Hmm.
get cold.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? The kids are dealing with that stuff with them not having access to outside activity.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Outside of their phones.
yeah. And that's the thing too. Like one thing is about filling them voids. So you involved with youth activity.
Yeah,
That is a key part because understanding our young people are our greatest asset. Like we have to invest in
definitely.
them. We have to build in them. We have to make sure that we got foundations and structures for them to stand on. And with the limited resources that we have in the city today, because as a reminder, Flint used to be the third richest city per capita at one point in time, right? When GM was here, you had, all the big three that was here doing their thing. And we had a lot of money, a lot of flow taking place here. Now it's nothing like that. People getting jobs, like 45 an hour away from here
Yeah.
now, right? And that's general labor type of situation.
Mm.
But when you talk about generators here, we don't have that. So our young people do not have all the high schools that we had, that we grew up in. You went to what high
I
school?
went to Carmen.
Went to Carmen. I went to Flint Central.
Yeah.
And so it is no Flint Central. It's no Flint Northern. It's no Flint Northwestern, right? It's no Flint School of Choice. So when you think about children today, they don't have those type of outlets. So what I be looking at is how we filling the void. What are we doing for them to be able to have a place in this community?
So, man, that was I would say that was the purpose of creating the kickback
Okay.
just to have that space, but it's really the space to ask the questions so we can come up with solutions to bring the things that we need.
That's a good way to look at it. Yeah.
Yeah, so the kickback was kind of created for that. Ultimately, we want to be able to create that space to get those ideas and execute
Mm-hmm.
on everything that we hear from the youth.
Absolutely.
So,
It's nothing better than hearing it from the horse's mouth.
for sure.
And one thing that I enjoyed about the kickback, we did host a kickback on the 3rd of this month, right? And so it was actually very inspiring. You had about 40 young boys in there, right, with their parents. They came from all around. They was from Detroit,
Yeah.
here, Flint, Saginaw, Pontiac. But we heard from the youth perspective. And that's something that we have to be very keen on is understanding from their voice, them telling us what they want.
Yeah.
And that was kind of like that was the underlying message, with the kickback. And I thought that was pretty cool because, they're very intelligent. They know what they want. So they was kind of talking about all the things that they dealing with in life and then how they see what's going on in the world and what their role is,
Yeah.
in society.
Yeah.
And so what was your takeaways from it? Because I know Mike was here last week and we talked about it. It was a good conversation about it. What did you take away from it?
Man, it's listen, it's like the kids are the future. You know what I mean? So anything that they got on their mind is important for us to listen
Come on
to.
now. That's right.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I can't say this was better than that. This was everything was, worth listening to.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Absolutely, man. And they was definitely they was vibing.
Yeah.
And they was talking, right?
Mm.
You know how kids be when they talking about something
Yeah.
that, they
Say kids
inspired
don't
by.
like to talk.
Yeah, but they liked it to
Yeah.
talk.
Kids don't. So well,
Which is cool.
sometimes they don't like to talk. Sometimes they talk too much.
Sometimes they talk too much. My daughter talk a lot.
My
Sometimes but
daughter talk.
I be just your daughter be talking.
My daughter talk.
So I just be listening.
My daughter talk.
I'm trying to get understanding, and it's all these different variations that's going on today.
Yeah.
Right? All these different stuff that they be looking up on and whatever they get their information from. But it's important for us to stay connected to that.
Yeah.
That's how we stay hip.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Even when it comes down to talking about relationships, my daughter 15.
Mm-hmm.
And she talking about relationships like she knows something. I be listening. I'm trying to point in the right direction for sure. But then again, it's like, man, you know what? Why are we worried about this? You know what I mean? Why we ain't worried about the next quiz that's coming up, right? They ain't want to hear that. They don't want to hear that.
They got that under control. Let them tell it.
Yeah, let them tell it. But they ain't did no homework all week though. You know what I mean? I don't know how they got it. You know what I'm saying? But that's what it is as far as like we becoming more seasoned, you know what I'm saying? And we becoming more mature.
Mm-hmm.
And I find myself saying some of the same stuff like my grandparents or my people were saying to me back in the day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For
You ever feel like that?
All the time. All the time. All the time. I tell my son all the time right now to think twice and speak once, man.
Come on now.
Think twice, speak once. My uncle told me that all my life.
Come on.
When you leave this house, you represent me. For sure.
That's one thing they did say. They always say, like, man, you know what? That last name carries something. So when you out there, you represent the family.
Represent the family.
So don't be doing nothing that's gonna disgrace us.
Mm-hmm.
And so, even though you may not listen, even though you may have,
I don't listen all the time. I didn't listen. So
you just can't. I mean, as a child, you want to figure things out. That's why I be trying to relate with mine. Like, I want they want to go find some stuff out. You can tell them that it's a hole down the street, so make sure you go the other way.
For sure. Go down there, check it out.
They gonna go check it out. Just because because you said that. You know what I mean?
For sure.
So now I gotta do some reverse psychology on them, right? You know what I'm saying?
That's how you really gotta do it.
Don't go that way because it's some stuff you don't want to be a part of over there. They gonna go that way. And that's how that just kind of work out, man. But I do appreciate the opportunity, man, to continue to grow and develop as a father, right? It ain't no manual on parenting. It's nothing that, you gonna learn unless you experience. You know what I'm saying? Unless you are a parent yourself, right? Then you kind of start getting understanding of, how to best raise children.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. And in this community, man, we got to be on that. We got to be looking at how we are helping these young people, how we are building and developing structures for these people, right? What type of things can we engage them in today so then that way they can impact tomorrow? That's our role.
Yeah.
And we only got a certain amount of time that we're going to be here. We ain't going to be here forever.
Sure.
And I be, having that dialogue with them. Like, some of my son, he like independent, so he be doing his own thing. But my daughter is like very dependent.
Yeah.
I gotta say, like, you know what? Lottie, you gotta get this stuff right now.
Yeah.
You gotta understand what's going on and how to function out here. You gotta be able to budget. How you gonna go ahead and pay your bills? How you gonna go ahead and get some money, right? If you go to the corner store and you give them a $20 bill and you don't know how much these items cost, you don't know what type of change you're getting back they can get you.
Gotta come back home first.
You know what I'm saying?
Back home.
But you need to know that before you even purchase these things,
Sure.
right? You know what I'm saying? And now she's trying to do driver ed, and she can't even tell me what the house address is. So we're gonna have to definitely keep working on that one.
I guess she go get it.
It's a process, brother. Love you, baby.
Yeah,
It's a process. You know what I'm saying?
It's a process, but they
Real
got a
talk.
good dad, so that's
Come on, man.
it
Listen.
work out. You know.
Hey, listen. You know what? They taking me down through there, but I definitely, I'm gonna go down there with them.
Yeah. No.
And all that jazz, right? So let's talk Flint. Where do you see the city of Flint? Where do you see in the next 20 years what we can be?
I see Flint in a beautiful place in the next 20 years.
Come on, all right, but that's inspiring. Why you see Flint as a beautiful place?
Man, when I was coming up, just what I witnessed and the downfall that I seen, coming from the north side, living all over the north side. Like I said, we used to have community, so I was around when all the houses were around and all the kids and everybody was in the community. The schools were open.
Absolutely.
So, everybody wanted to go to North.
Everybody
wanted to go to Central and play.
But y'all should have been an Indian though.
You know what I'm saying? So, and then it got to a point where everybody wanted to start moving their kids out of.
They did.
Everybody started going towards
crazy.
your Grand Blanks and your Carmens, and the community started to fade away.
I remember that too.
And as a kid, you don't understand it. You're just looking for a better opportunity. I guess it's just doing whatever your parents telling you to do.
You had to.
You had to.
You know what
I mean? So when I was over at Carmen, I'd be back over to the north side all the time.
Absolutely.
Over the years,
can't shake it.
Everything, we watching schools getting shut down. We starting to watch everything kind of change. People moving, people moving out of town. Houses are abandoned. Houses getting torn down. The shootings are starting to be a little bit more.
Absolutely.
So after all of that, I think the recession came. What was that? That was around our era, 2008. Right. So after all of that happened, man, I moved to Houston and came back. Right. So when I came back, I started seeing land being bought. All right.
But not by the people that once
But
lived
not by
here.
the residents.
Yeah.
The residents were leaving.
Yeah, that's right.
Right. And then I think that the water crisis happened after this.
2013, 2014.
Yeah. So it was like after I seen it, I'm like, and as I got a little bit older and I did move, I got to see different. I went to Grand Rapids. I stayed in Grand Rapids, and I stayed in this community. And the community that I stayed in was real nice. And he found out I was from Flint.
Yeah.
And the guy was like, man, back in my day, he was talking about El DeBarge, and DeBarge is down there. He's like, man, back in my day,
They from G-Rap.
And G-Rap.
Okay.
He was telling me, like, man, back in my day, Flint used to be the thing.
It did.
They
used to come down and hang out.
That's what he was telling me. And man, I got a I'll say my art director, my photographer, videographer, graphic designer, AD.
Okay.
I got a Flint made t-shirt. I don't know if you're familiar with it. It got like everything you could think of from
dealing with Flint,
Right. And I got to looking through everything. I started doing me some research just on the history of Flint. Right. And I got to thinking about, reading about Buick, you know what I mean, and the history of GM and like the rich history of the automotive industry.
Absolutely.
Kettering University,
which is GMI.
Right.
General Motors.
Right. So I didn't know that was General Motors institution, I believe, at that time. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So as I got older, I got it to reading a lot more and learning a lot more about the city, and that made me pay attention to like the overall mission of what it seemed like was going on in the community. It seemed like we were getting pushed out of the community for the land to become free, for the outside investors to come in.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. And I kind of feel like that's where we at right now. And I feel like it's a good thing.
That the outsiders got the land.
I feel like it's a good thing.
Why you feel the outsiders is a good thing to get the land?
Because we need outside resources and money and tools and partnerships and all. Like we need outside, you know what I mean, innovators and all those types of things to come in, to build up the industry. You know what I mean, partner, not take over. You know what I mean, so maybe we just need people, and the people that are in higher places need to be moved around a little bit so that we're in partnership and not being bought out. So much. You know what I mean? But I feel like the ownership, if we get the right ownership and the right people in the right positions or whatnot, the next 20 years, the next 10 years in Flint could be beautiful.
It could be beautiful. It could be.
I feel like for the residents that's left.
Yeah.
A lot of residents gonna move because they don't understand the direction of the city. You know what I mean? Because it looked like it's at a downfall because of what you see.
Yeah.
But if you study the economy and the economics of it, you could see the uprise of Flint.
Okay. So let me ask you this then. Every municipality has to have visionary leadership to be able to obtain what you're saying for the next 10, 20 years, right?
For sure.
You got to have people in place that value this community, the residents, the constituents, and that wants to be able to, move Flint to where it is currently today, to somewhat of a reflection of our glorious past, right? I feel that our current leadership setup doesn't see it like that.
No.
I see like I think it's a thing of they might just really focus in on them per se, right? Versus in their own personal beliefs and things of that nature. You know, when you're an elected official, you work for the people. Correct. It's not the other way around. It's not that, you orchestrate and do business. No, you're supposed to take what the people are saying and then you put that in practice, create policy, and create an avenue for development, right?
Right.
It's supposed to be like that, but
Supposed to.
unfortunately, I just be seeing this, this current makeup, this current administration, the city council, the state rep, even our, senators and, folks that's representing Congress. I think they have left Flint behind. Or they sucking out all the resources here.
Yeah.
They taking it out on the outskirts like that Grand Blanc, up there in that Davison, Flushing, all the little outskirts cities. They building that up, but they make their way off of Flint.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
I get you.
And I be just like looking at this election that we got coming up. We got an election this year.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's the mayor's race. You got the city council. You got the state rep, right? Yeah, those are important positions. And we need to have visionary leadership, people that's going to be really saying like, all right, we're going to create this coalition, this collective, and we're going to work together, right, to serve the residents of Flint. And it has to be inclusive of what they want to see and what they want. It ain't about the person who in office, but the people you represent.
Right.
And that's where, I guess that'd be my only drawback to like seeing like where we can be, what we can do, and how we gonna change, the scope of the city.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So those things is like, I guess those things are something important. And I know we want to be on the watch for that. You currently live where?
In Texas.
In Texas, okay.
Texas, yeah.
But you back and forth.
Yeah, back.
Okay. So you're gonna be seeing a lot of stuff this year. We see a lot of stuff, man.
Yeah.
And shout out to everybody who looking to jump out, run for office. I've been seeing some names and stuff like that. Some people want to be able to get in position. I think that's good, right? But then also I think to make sure that we all have to work in unison about what we want to see as far as goals. Because you just can't run for office because you think you want to run for office. This is not a popularity contest. You dealing with people's lives here. So you have to be able to be astute up here to understand how to build policy, how to write resolutions, how to attract dollars in the city. Like you were saying, them outside businesses and outside people outside of Flint.
Yeah.
You got to be able to bring them in, but then also it has to be a benefit for the people that live here.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Correct.
So if you could do a deal to bring a big manufacturing company here to create jobs, you got to make sure at least 80% of the workforce is Flint residents.
For sure.
That's how you build a tax base.
That's how you build it.
Now you start seeing people own their home. They ain't living in apartments all day, right? Because you can't pass an apartment down to the children. They can't inherit that. So you have to go ahead and be able to have the first signs of generational wealth is property, right? You have to have that. You have to have some flow to be able to purchase that, to be able to pass that down. But you have to go ahead and think like that. So I'm hoping anybody who's looking around, anybody who's, see themselves in that position, be sure that you have to go ahead and make sure that you understand the role, the responsibility, and who you're working for.
Oh, that's for sure.
Okay.
That's for sure.
All right, we're going to take it to some local news. Yeah, we're going to take it to the neighborhood news segment. So in the neighborhood news segment, we talk about what's going on locally, all right?
Okay.
Coach was talking about Claressa Shields. Yeah, we're going to bring it up. Yeah. Why is everybody in the city of Flint hating on this sister, right? She came up from the mud, right? She been beating females left or right, right? She is the world champion. The GOAT is what she called herself, right? Why do she receive so much flack on social media? You got 50 Cent chiming in on her. You got people that just kind of making videos doing this, addressing her and all this other stuff. Why are we not championing this young woman that been through so much and she has made her way in this city and now she's doing her thing and some people don't like it? I don't know what the hate is about, but she is a Flintstone, came up out of Bursting, right?
Yeah.
She fought her way out of the slum.
Literally.
You gotta respect that, bro.
Literally.
Right? So for everybody who hate on that, right, ask yourself, what are you doing for yourself? And how are you changing this game for the people around you? So we're gonna give you a big shout out, Claressa, because I seen all that stuff on the internet, man, and it looked crazy. Big shout out to the GOAT. It just looked ridiculous when we hate on our own. Support your people, especially if in the city, man. Support the people that's coming up from your neighborhoods. If you saw them coming up on the grind and you see them coming to a place where they feel like they arrived, make sure you support that. Just like Deniro is an entrepreneur. Any type of win, we supposed to be championing that. We supposed to be behind it before anybody. You got people who don't even know you that's gonna support you better than your own. Okay. And now we're gonna take it to the national stage, right? We talk about what's going on globally, what's going on in the world, right? We're gonna go ahead and talk about what took place in Minneapolis as relates to the ICE incident who killed the young lady, right? And we gotta say this, right? ICE is doing some irrational things. You see them going into neighborhoods, pulling people out, just treating people all type of way, looking for immigrants. But what they don't know is they out there causing a disruption and it's creating a problem for the people in this country. So we want to highlight Jonathan Ross, who was the one who killed Renee Good in Minneapolis. She was in a truck. It was a situation that took place, and so happened she tried to pull off. It wasn't like she was about to hit somebody, but she ended up trying to pull off, and Jonathan shot her in the head a couple of times. Real disrespectful stuff, right? But I want this country to understand this been going on for a long time. When you think about police, you talk about the slave patrol. They've been going out disrespecting people for a very long time. That's the main reason why Black Lives Matter is out here, right? Because of the issues that we have with police as relates to black people, right? So now you got these ICE officers, these federal agents, so-called, that's out there in the communities trying to round up folks, going in different areas and being disrespectful. See, one thing, we not gonna have none of that. But I do love to see the uprising that's taking place from the people. It's been protests going on, people going to Minneapolis, they stepping up and they kicking down that situation with ICE. And I love it. I love to see that. I love to see that anger. So you understand why we be upset, like when George Floyd was killed or Trayvon Martin was killed, right? All the black people that's been killed by police and communities, now we see that they bickering and having a hard time with ICE. We seeing police captains talking about ICE, right? Now they want to talk about this. Now you opening up a different conversation. When George Floyd was killed, did y'all come out there and drove like that? Did the police captains from different municipalities, did they talk about officers that was out there doing and wreaking havoc in the communities, urban communities? But now you see this uprising take place. And I don't want to get it on because she was a white woman, but that's how you supposed to be all around the board. You supposed to be standing up just in general. I don't care if they white, black, green, yellow, whatever. You supposed to make sure that you hold accountability. And if people who are supposed to be upholding law and order in neighborhoods, if they being disrespectful when they going out their way to doing something negative, then we got to shoot it down just like we doing Jonathan, right? So definitely he is on the hot list today for that. And then we also want to look at what's taking place in Greenland. Yeah, what's going on with Trump? Trump is looking again to invade Greenland. It could be for their position in the world, where they stand geographically, or it could be because they got natural minerals and oil and resources too, right? Let me say this, man. Trump is a chump, right? Oh yeah, I'm taking it there, cuz.
Trump.
I gotta be that.
Trump is a chump.
Trump is a chump, right? This guy is definitely full of crap. And he always trying to invade on little countries and try to run up on people because he think he got the army behind him. But even some of them ain't even rocking with him. I want to give a big shout out to my brother Alvin Hosley, right again, who stepped down because he wasn't with that nonsense and he called Donald Trump stupid, right? That's what he is, man. You know what I'm saying? This is just an elite person who come from an elite background that has no sense of reality. And we can't stand for that. So as a country, we need to stay strong. We need to be unified. We need to be about that business. And if we're gonna be rising like we are for Miss Good, then you need to be rising for people like Trayvon Martin and George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and everybody else that we lost. All right. So man, definitely, man, I'm sitting here talking with my brother. We talking entrepreneurship, we talking about youth activities, we talking about what's going on in the world, just overall on the board, what's taking place. Now we're gonna take it to the next segment. Yeah, we're gonna bring in the X chat, right? The X chat is pretty much a dialogue where coach is gonna throw out some items. We're gonna talk about it for 2 minutes. We're gonna discuss, debate, however you want to look at it. We're just gonna just go in about it, right? We don't know what they are, so they're surprise topics. So we're gonna see what you got. What you got for us, coach?
Coach.
First story. Aiden Ross had called black artist Doechii a bitch online.
Oh yeah.
And Glasses Malone, artist from California,
Okay.
said that he can't get to Aiden Ross.
Yeah.
But those black people that's around Aiden Ross, he's going to make sure he presses them
Okay.
when he see him.
Okay.
Because of disrespecting her.
To the sister.
Yes. This
Okay.
is the question. Is that disrespect towards the black artist, or is that just freedom of speech? 2 minutes.
Well, first of all, I don't know why he would come out and call her that name anyway.
Yeah,
you hear me?
That's not freedom of speech.
You know what I mean? That's just a blank act of disrespect, right? And just whatever, he felt that he was doing, right? I'm glad that boy is looking to put the press on him. Just like how we got to be for our black women. Anytime somebody disrespect, even our black men, anytime somebody disrespect, get out of line, we supposed to press the issue.
That's how it's supposed
Especially if you ain't of our ethnicity.
That's how it's supposed to be. You said who was gonna press him?
Glasses Malone.
Glasses Malone.
Who?
Glasses Malone is an artist out in LA. I seen Wack 100 talking about, oh, you know what, he was going to go holler at Glasses Malone. I think Aiden Ross and Wack got a business relationship.
Yeah.
So Wack was kind of acting as a protector for Aiden Ross and saying that he going to support Ross on whatever. Which I think that's just not how you want to go about that. Wack, you don't want to put yourself in the middle of a situation, right, that you ain't got nothing to do with, first and foremost. Secondly, if it's anything about our culture, anything about our creativity, anything we got going on, we supposed to protect it first and foremost before we protect anybody else.
So I was finna say, man, we gotta start standing up as a community for real, for real.
Absolutely,
How it was back in the day, man. You know, back in the day, I don't know if that would have slid with Tupac and them alive.
Not at all, bro. Not at all.
I don't know how that would have went. So yeah, we gotta start standing up for the community. No matter if you know them or if you got a relationship with them. None of that. If they want our eyes and somebody disrespect you, you're supposed to stand up and be there for
Stand
sure.
up. Stand up and sit down.
So stand up and sit down for sure.
All right.
Okay, we got our first one down. We're going to the next
Recently, Pastor Jamal Bryant of New York, him and his wife went to
Gator.
the Negro College Fund, United Negro College Fund.
Yeah, absolutely.
Event,
Yeah.
right?
She was looking good too.
Well, she was wearing a dress that was form fitting, I guess.
Yeah,
and
right.
She caught a lot of flack online because people were saying that a pastor's wife shouldn't dress that.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
This is the question: should a pastor's wife be held to a different standard of appearance, or is this policing women under the guise of religion?
Oh man, come on now.
Ooh.
Now, now let me tell you this. Now, Jamal's wife, I'm not sure what her name was, but she was definitely looking very beautiful.
I gotta see it. I didn't see it.
You got to see it,
I gotta
right?
see it.
You know, it's a dress that was very revealing, right? It was very form fit. And then she did catch some flack about it, right? People were saying like that's not how a first lady should present herself in the public, which I understand because listen though, you know what? You got to have people held to a higher degree. First ladies, we always see them with the dress tied up to their neck, right? You know what I'm saying? And it's going all the way down past their feet. You can't even see their toes. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Which is cool, right? I get it, right? But then also too, we don't want to police somebody or put somebody in this form of perception because we feel that they should be looking a certain type of way. You don't want to do it like that. I think, first of all, my wife wouldn't come out looking like that, so I would just say that.
Yeah, I gotta see the picture now.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be keeping it real.
See the picture.
And then Jamal definitely should have had a conversation. I know they probably have a dialogue with her. I know he talked about it at the church, and he said those different things. But it's a certain standard that we do expect those type of figures to come in, right? You know what I mean? It's just anything. You ain't even got to be pastor's wife, right? You can be your wife, right? My wife, right? You know what I'm saying? She ain't gonna be wearing no revealing dress, seeing all the goodies.
But they say in the church to come as you are.
Oh, okay, come on with it then. Come on. You ain't
gonna say about
come as you are. You ain't lying though. Come as you are.
I want to see the picture. I want to see if it's really revealing.
Yeah, we're gonna show you the picture though. You know what I'm saying? But I think, I guess that's the point. You do supposed to come as you are. And we don't want to have this standard, but at the same time though, I think it's just a respect thing, right? And that's just for man. But I'm just one.
Respect my eyes.
Respect mine. Hey, I might be locked in, but I still got out. Respect my eye.
So is it the dress or is it her shape?
Yeah, it's a dress, but she's shaped. But I think it's a dress.
Is it the dress? Yeah, I got
buzzer on it.
Okay. Where was the buzzer?
Shedeur Sanders in his first NFL start, I believe.
Big shout out to Shedeur.
Yeah. His house was robbed.
Absolutely.
The police caught the four men
out
the house.
Yeah.
They actually drove from Atlanta to his house because they actually knew he wasn't home because he was playing the game.
A lot of that's happened.
Oh. And he said he was robbed for a lot of things, like $200,000 worth of stuff.
Yeah.
When athletes are targeted during games, is the real issue personal security or a system that let organized crime follow fame?
Well, I think, man, first and foremost, man, those four brothers that robbed Shedeur Sanders, you was wrong. Man, that brother just trying to get on, do his thing. He got football to worry about. He already dealing with the circus of the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to it, man, listen, man, stop targeting our people, man. Stop doing that. He's going to play on Sunday. It's just a thing, right? And I hate to see it was all brothers doing it, right? And he'll go drive from Atlanta to go down there to go hit a lick just because you knew he was going to be playing. That was insane. And you know what? I don't buy for nobody to go to jail, right? We ain't thinking about it like that. But you know what? We need to hold accountability in the community. Because most importantly, like you shouldn't even be looking to take something from somebody that look like you.
For real. That's what it is. Because it's
Real
probably somebody that was real close to him. Had to been somebody real close to him. They was
somebody could have gave the word. He playing today, y'all.
Wasn't no word to give. He probably gave him the word.
But that's just terrible.
He probably gave him the word.
That's just terrible though, man. Like everybody, man, listen. You know, I'm pretty sure if you would have went to Shador and you would have told him, like, man, listen, I need a couple of dollars or something. I'm trying to get off on something. Shador got that spirit, like he would have supported and helped you.
I believe
right?
so.
You ain't got to still take from that, right? You ain't got to still take from nobody. Learn to work, get out there and get it out the mud your damn self.
Yeah,
right?
sure.
And that's how it's got to be, bro.
That's how it's got to be. That's what we need to be teaching the youth.
Get
out here and get it on your own.
Get it on your own, man. And big shout out to our brother Shador, man. You did a phenomenal first season campaign. It was amazing, right? I'm excited about what coach is gonna come in. Hopefully they get prime time.
Hopefully he start next year.
Oh, he gonna start.
He's starting.
Gonna start.
He's gonna start the whole season next year.
Yeah, the whole season.
Run the whole season.
But make sure, man, y'all go ahead and lock in with prime time, man, because prime it will be a good fit for that system, and that'll be a dynamic duel. And I can see them doing some great things, not only in the NFL, but throughout the state of Cleveland, Ohio. All right, there you have it, man. So that's the air check for the day. Man, I see y'all there participating, right? You know what I'm saying? Getting to it, right? We get some random questions, right? We provide dialogue, answering, and all that jazz. And you know what I mean? I think those things is very warranted. And then furthermore, we do want to do a business highlight. We want to highlight Lawrence E. Moon's funeral service, right? Everybody gonna die one day, right? Make sure that you go ahead and check in with Moon over there on 906 West Flint Boulevard, right? It's time to make them preparations. Come on, man. Hold on.
Everybody gonna die one day.
Listen. No, seriously though. Everybody, listen. You might as well get ready. You know what I'm saying? Have a good time while you're here. I'm telling you, when it's time, make sure you have yourself, prepared to go. Right? Make sure you got your will written out. Make sure you're gonna set up the family. However you're gonna set them up. Make sure that you got the thing all written out, because that's one thing that Black people don't prepare for. We don't prepare for when it's time for to go, the time to be with the good Lord, because then now everything and everybody got to figure something out.
That's
but now,
the thing we guaranteed in life is death.
That's it. I wouldn't even say taxes, because some people ain't paying taxes, and it's okay. But death, you're gonna definitely go ahead and be out of here one day. But make sure you do make the proper preparations, ensuring that you do have your family set up, got your goals lined up, written out. Make sure how you're gonna distribute everything, so don't nobody be fighting at the end. You already know what time it is. So, man, go check out that brother, Lawrence E. Moon. All right, man. So you know what? We definitely, man, I definitely appreciate, man, the whole dialogue. Appreciate what you're doing in the community. Now, what's next? We got the kickback coming in. What's that? What's the next event?
So we're gonna keep the kickback continue.
Absolutely.
We're gonna continue doing the kickback.
Yeah.
Every kickback we're gonna try to get a little bit deeper.
Come on now.
We want to try to teach these kids how to get out here and get jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Walk away, man. Be leaders.
Come on.
Learn about conflict mediation, anger management. A lot of kids from our community got a lot of anger built up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Communicating.
Yeah.
And all of those types of things. So, and hopefully, man, we able to implement some programs and some trades and all those different types of things in the future. You know what I mean? So that's the goal, man.
So be sure to come to the next kickback. So if you got a child, you're a family, you want to bring your young people out to something productive, something constructive, right? Man, big shout out to all the brothers that participated too, man, that was there on behalf to facilitate, just drop some jewels, just a part of the whole thing, right? But make sure you bring your child out to the kickback, right? If you got a little boy that's acting up in school, right? Or you got his friends, right? That's influential. Whatever's going on, we don't care the circumstance. Bring them to the kickback,
please.
The next one gonna be January 17th.
January 17th, 2 p.m.
Where's it gonna be at?
2407 East Lewis Street at 10 Gentlemen Center.
At the 10 Gentlemen Center, right there on Lewis Street. We're gonna be hanging out. It's a nice place. We're gonna have food, but we're just gonna have real dialogue. But also understand the conversation is led by them. So whatever that they want to do, anything that they want to get to. It's our responsibility to ensure that we put that together, man. So definitely, man. It's been definitely, man, we got a lot of work to do this year.
A lot of work.
You know
Whole
what I
lot
mean?
of work.
You know what I'm saying?
We will get it done though.
We're gonna get it done. We ain't got no choice to, right?
Sure.
So man, y'all make sure y'all check out Deniro. Check him out on social media. Check him out, you know, just in the streets. You check him out just in general, right? Make sure you tap in with him, man, because he is somebody that is trying to do something constructive, and we respect that. So you know, we all got his back. We all ride with him, and we're gonna go ahead and do something different for the residents of Flint. But we're gonna turn this city around. So,
Sure.
Any last words, my brother?
Nah, man, just make sure y'all come out. Like you said, y'all got kids that need to just have a space to talk, you know what I mean? Just bring them out, man. January 17th, 2 p.m., 2407 East Louis Street.
Absolutely. Well, you have it. So that's another segment of Royale X Politikin. Make sure you tap in. We're on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, however you want to look at it. Be sure to go ahead and tap in with us. Make sure you like, share, subscribe to the channel. Sure that you go ahead and tell a friend about it, right? But then also make sure you check out this segment too, man, because there's definitely some jewels drop and everything else that's on there too as well. It's phenomenal content. So man, we appreciate y'all. Host DeWaun E. Robinson, aka Royale X, and we tapping out with my brother, Deniro Johnson. All right. And we're back here on the 17th.
All right.